Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a moment you can't escape, where happiness feels like a distant memory and the weight of life is too much to bear? You're not alone. Even the most successful people in the world, yes, even Elon Musk have faced moments when everything seemed to be falling apart. But here's the difference. They didn't wait for happiness to come to them. They built it, forced it, and claimed it in the face of pain. Elon Musk is known for building rockets, electric cars, and entire revolutions. But behind the fame is a man who has faced overwhelming pressure, loss, and loneliness. He once said, "I don't ever give up. I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated." That's not just stubbornness. That's an unshakable belief that your mindset can be your greatest weapon even when your world is on fire. In this chapter, we're not talking about toxic positivity. We're not saying to ignore pain. We're talking about mental strength, the conscious choice to lean into discomfort with purpose. The kind of choice Elon made when his first rockets exploded, when Tesla almost went bankrupt, and when his personal relationships fell apart in public view. Through all of it, he didn't wait for things to get better. He showed up with grit and humor, again and again. That's what it means to force yourself to be happy, not fake happy, but strong happy. To find reasons for joy not after the storm, but in the middle of it. So, how do you do it? First, by understanding that happiness is not the absence of hardship, it's the presence of perspective. You have to train your mind the same way you train a muscle. When life gets hard, most people give in to their emotions. But Musk, he turns them into fuel. Every failure is a data point. Every setback is feedback. He doesn't personalize failure, he studies it. Second, Elon constantly works on things that give him meaning. That's a huge part of building happiness. When your purpose is clear, pain becomes manageable. It doesn't vanish, but it doesn't win either. Find something that ignites your mind. A project, a mission, a vision bigger than your fears. Third, he uses humor as a survival tool. Think about it. A billionaire CEO joking about meme coins, sharing failures openly, even poking fun at himself. That's not accidental. That's strategy. Laughter is resistance. It's saying, "You won't break me." It's a reminder that we still have control over our response even when we can't control the situation. Lastly, Elon Musk surrounds himself with thinkers, doers, and problem solvers. Even when he's alone, he feeds his brain with ideas, books, experiments, hard questions. He doesn't let his mind sit in darkness. Neither should you. You might not be building a Mars colony, but your challenges are no less real, and your happiness matters just as much. So today, remember this. You don't have to feel good to choose strength. You don't have to be fearless to keep going. And you don't have to wait for peace to start building joy. Happiness can be a decision, a rebellion, a quiet act of power in a world that's trying to break you. Force it not by faking it, but by fighting for it. What if the greatest battle you ever fight isn't against the world, but against your own mind? Every day, thousands of thoughts race through your head, some lifting you up, most trying to tear you down. Elon Musk once admitted, "I feel fear quite strongly. I just try not to let it stop me from doing what I need to do." That's not bravery born from comfort. That's victory earned from within. So many people wait for motivation. They wait for clarity, for courage, for some magical moment when happiness will arrive. But here's the truth. Motivation is not something you find, it's something you build through action. And action doesn't start with feeling ready, it starts with showing up anyway. When Elon was building SpaceX, everyone told him it would fail, that it was impossible, that no one outside a government agency could launch a rocket into orbit. And when his first 3 launches failed, he had every reason to walk away. He had every reason to feel broken. But instead, he did something extraordinary. He went back to work. That's what you have to do when life hits you hardest. You don't wait to feel better. You work your way through the darkness, one action at a time. Even the smallest progress builds momentum, and that momentum becomes belief. But forcing yourself to be happy doesn't mean ignoring your pain. It means refusing to let pain be the final word. It means understanding that emotions are like weather, they pass. But your discipline? That's what defines the climate. Happiness, in its realest form, isn't a spike of joy. It's the deep sense that you are moving forward, even when your heart is tired and the path is uphill. It's choosing to rise, not because it's easy, but because your future is worth the fight. Elon Musk once worked 100-hour weeks between Tesla and SpaceX, sleeping on factory floors and taking showers at the gym, not because he wanted to suffer, but because he believed in the mission more than he feared the discomfort. That's the mindset you need to cultivate. You are not your pain. You are the one walking through it. And on the other side of that pain is pride that you didn't quit, pride that you showed up when it would have been easier to stay down. Every time you take control of your habits, what you feed your mind, how you speak to yourself, what you choose to do with your time, you are reclaiming your power. That's how you force yourself to be happy. Not by pretending, not by suppressing, but by choosing discipline over despair, by showing up when nothing makes sense, and by trusting that even though you can't see the light yet, you are the one walking toward it. The people who succeed, who truly grow, who truly rise are not the ones who feel great all the time. They are the ones who move forward anyway. So, if today is hard and your thoughts are heavy, don't wait for happiness. Create it, one brave step at a time. What if happiness wasn't something you chase, but something you engineer? Something you build day by day with intention, effort, and grit? Elon Musk doesn't wake up every morning smiling because life is easy. He wakes up to pressure, risk, and relentless criticism. And yet, he moves forward, not because he feels good, but because he knows what matters. He understands something most people never learn. You can design your mindset like you design a machine. In an interview, Elon once said, "You should take the approach that you're wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong." That idea isn't just about business, it's a way of thinking, a way of rewiring how you see failure, discomfort, and even happiness. Most people look for happiness in results, success, recognition, money, comfort. But when those things collapse, they often do, they collapse too. Their identity crashes with their circumstances, but not Elon. His happiness isn't tied to outcome, it's tied to progress, to learning, to becoming. And that's the shift you need to make if you want to find peace in the storm. You can't always control what happens around you, but you can control how you train your mind. Like a muscle, the brain responds to repetition. You repeat fear, it grows. You repeat doubt, it dominates. But if you repeat discipline, curiosity, gratitude, you reprogram the system. Start simple. Control what you can. Your morning routine, what you read, who you follow, the questions you ask yourself when things go wrong. Musk surrounds himself with problems not because he's a glutton for punishment, but because he believes in solving them. Solving problems is a form of happiness. It gives your pain a direction. It turns chaos into a challenge. It puts your energy to work instead of letting it rot in frustration. If you're feeling lost, ask yourself, what can I improve today even slightly? Your focus, your habits, your reaction? That's how you begin to manufacture happiness when everything around you feels out of control. Elon doesn't seek balance in the traditional sense. He doesn't chase rest or comfort. He pursues what matters to him so deeply that the hardship becomes background noise. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. And that's what you need to find. A why so strong it pulls you through the worst days. That could be your family, your dream, your legacy, whatever gives meaning to your movement. Because when life feels unbearable, when the weight won't lift, the one thing you must not do is stop moving. Stopping doesn't protect you, it traps you. But momentum? Momentum gives you a reason to keep breathing, even if it's just one step. Even if all you do today is decide not to quit, force yourself to rise not through denial, but through design. Through building a mind that doesn't depend on perfect circumstances to function. Through crafting a system that keeps moving, even when your emotions don't want to. This is how you become untouchable in it because you're emotionless, but because you are engineered for resilience. Like Musk, you don't need to be the strongest person in the room, you just need to be the one who refuses to stop building. When was the last time you sat in silence, no distractions, no notifications, no noisy, and asked yourself, am I living in alignment with who I want to become? Most people are too afraid to ask that. Why? Because it might reveal how far off course they've drifted. But Elon Musk isn't afraid to confront uncomfortable truths. In fact, he runs toward them. And that's exactly why he continues to grow through adversity, through pressure, through pain. In this chapter, we're going to talk about something rarely discussed when it comes to happiness: brutal self-honesty. Elon once said, I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. That's the mindset of someone who doesn't run from discomfort. He invites it in. He lets it shape him. Most of us build walls around ourselves. We don't want to admit when we're wrong. We don't want to see our own flaws. We numb ourselves with entertainment, with distraction, with fake positivity. But you cannot force true happiness if you're lying to yourself. Elon's success is not the result of blind optimism, it's the result of relentless reality checks. He analyzes everything: his decisions, his failures, his assumptions. That's how he turns setbacks into upgrades. You can do the same. If your life feels hard right now, start by asking better questions. What am I pretending not to see? Where am I avoiding responsibility? What's one hard truth I need to face today? Because real happiness, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from comfort. It comes from growth. And growth requires truth. But don't confuse self-honesty with self-hate. Elon doesn't beat himself up over mistakes, she studies them. He treats failure like data. That's how you stay emotionally strong without becoming emotionally numb. It's also how you stop making happiness this vague, mystical thing and start making it something practical, something earned. You're not going to magically feel better one day just because time passes. You're going to feel better because you've taken action, because you've faced the truth, because you've chosen to grow instead of run. The real battle isn't between you and the world, it's between you and the easy version of you, the version that wants to blame others, the version that wants to quit early, the version that wants to settle for less. But you're not here to settle, you're here to build something better from the inside out. Like Elon, you don't have to wait for permission to evolve. You give yourself that permission. You become your own architect, your own engineer, your own coach. That's how you force happiness, not by denying the pain, but by transforming it, by saying, yes, this is hard. Yes, I feel overwhelmed, but I am still moving. I am still learning, and I will not stop until I am proud. So today, don't chase distraction. Don't fake it. Face it. Look yourself in the mirror not with judgment, but with courage, and say, let's rebuild. Let's rise. Let's go again. That's how you win. Not once. Every day. There comes a moment when you're exhausted not just physically, but emotionally. You're tired of pretending, tired of fighting, tired of hoping that someday life will magically feel lighter. And in that moment, you face a choice: give up or go again. Elon Musk has been there multiple times, and every single time, he made the choice to move forward, even if it meant walking through fire. Why? Because for him, comfort was never the goal. Purpose was. Most people think happiness is the reward, but in truth, happiness is a side effect of purpose. If you have no purpose, even the best days feel hollow. But when you're locked into a mission, when your energy is pointed at something meaningful, you can endure more than you ever thought possible. When Musk talks about building a future on Mars, it's not a gimmick. It's a vision that keeps him alive during 20-hour workdays, public failures, and relentless pressure. That's not happiness by chance. That's happiness through hardship. Ask yourself, what am I building that makes the pain worth it? Because without a compelling why, life will feel like a burden. But with one, pain becomes bearable. It even becomes fuel. Too often, people chase relief, temporary escapes, distractions, numbing habits. But Elon chases problems. He leans into discomfort. Not because he enjoys suffering, but because he knows that greatness lives on the other side of struggle. So, how do you apply this to your own life? You don't need to build rockets or revolutionize energy. You just need to stop avoiding discomfort and start embracing the challenge of growth. Growth isn't easy. It hurts, but it's honest. It strips you of excuses. It forces you to look inward. It makes you resilient. The problem is, most people give up too soon. They hit the first wall and they stop. But Elon? He keeps pushing through every wall, every doubt, every voice that says, it's too much. And here's what you need to understand. Your limits are not fixed. You've just never demanded more from yourself long enough to discover what's really there. That's what forcing yourself to be happy is really about. Not pretending everything's okay, but committing to become someone who thrives in chaos, who creates order, who builds forward, who refuses to break. You might be hurting right now. You might feel alone, tired, unmotivated. But that doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. And the most powerful thing you can do in this moment is not wait for life to get easier, but get stronger inside the difficulty. Musk didn't succeed because he was fearless. He succeeded because he kept moving despite the fear, because he chose meaning over comfort, discipline over despair, vision over defeat. So today, choose forward. One action, one commitment, one step closer to becoming the person who looks at pain and says, I can still move. I'm not done yet. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be relentless. That's how you force happiness. You build it with grit. You earn it with fire. And no one, not even life itself, can take that from you. Some days, happiness feels impossible. The weight of everything, deadlines, regrets, broken dreams, fear sits on your chest like concrete. And on those days, there's one thing that can pull you through: discipline. Not the cold, rigid kind that makes life feel like punishment, but the liberating kind, the kind Elon Musk lives by. The kind that builds inner peace because you know you're not a slave to your emotions. Discipline is often misunderstood. People think it's about suffering, about pushing through joyless routines with a clenched jaw and a dead heart. But true discipline is different. It's not about pain. It's about freedom, freedom from chaos, from indecision, from emotional storms that leave you wrecked. Musk doesn't rely on feeling good to act. In fact, most of the time, he probably doesn't feel good at all. When Tesla was on the brink of bankruptcy, when the Falcon rockets exploded in front of the world, when the media mocked him relentlessly, he didn't collapse. He focused. He worked. He showed up anyway. That's the secret no one wants to hear. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to do it. Your body, your mind, your energy, they all respond to what you repeat. And if you train them to move, no matter how you feel, you become powerful, unshakable. Elon once said, persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. That kind of persistence is impossible without discipline, because motivation fades. Inspiration comes and goes. But discipline? That's a system. That's a lifeline. If you're struggling right now, don't wait for life to feel better. Build a routine that keeps you afloat, that holds your head above water while the storm rages on. Start with the basics. Wake up at the same time. Move your body. Feed your mind good input. Write down what matters. Do the hardest thing first. These small acts are not glamorous, but they are transformative. They are signals to yourself that you are still in control, even when the world feels chaotic. You don't need to be robotic. You don't need to suppress your feelings. You just need to stop letting them run your life. Think about it. The same way Musk builds rockets with precision and design, you can build your days, your focus, your state of mind. Every minute you stay consistent even when it's hard is a minute you reclaim your power. That's how discipline becomes happiness, not because it's easy, but because it gives you back your dignity. People say, follow your heart, but your heart will lie to you when it's tired. It'll tell you to give up, to scroll mindlessly, to escape. Discipline tells you the truth. It says, you're capable of more. You're not done yet. This moment doesn't define you. And over time, that voice becomes stronger than the fear, stronger than the doubt. You want to force happiness? Don't fake a smile. Build a system, and stick to it especially when it's hardest. Musk didn't build Tesla and SpaceX with bursts of inspiration. He built them with brutal consistency. Sleepless nights, relentless effort, unshakable belief. You can do the same, not with rockets, but with your life, your mindset, your habits. So stop waiting. Start engineering. Discipline is your engine. Let it carry you forward until your mind believes what your actions already prove. You are in control. And happiness is being built with every step you take. What if the very thing you're avoiding discomfort is the exact key to becoming unbreakable? Most people run from it. They numb it with entertainment, avoid it with distractions, or try to drown it out with noise. But Elon Musk? He leans into discomfort. Not because he enjoys suffering, but because he understands something powerful. Comfort never created greatness. You won't grow in the warmth of convenience. You grow in fire. You grow when you're stretched, tested, and pushed beyond what you thought you could handle. Think about Musk in the early SpaceX day. She invested everything, not just his money, his time, his reputation, his peace of mind. And when the third Falcon rocket exploded, taking millions of dollars and years of work with it, most people expected him to walk away. But he didn't. He risked the last of his fortune on one final launch and it worked. That moment wasn't built on optimism. It was built on endurance. the ability to stay calm in chaos, the ability to keep building while everything is falling apart. And that endurance came from embracing discomfort. You're not supposed to feel great every day. You're supposed to build a life where discomfort doesn't break you, where it sharpens you. Happiness isn't the absence of stress, it's the presence of resilience. Elon once said, "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor." That mindset doesn't come from comfort. It comes from choosing to walk into difficulty again and again until it no longer intimidates you. So, how do you apply that in your own life? First, stop trying to avoid hard things. Instead, look for them. Challenge yourself. Put yourself in situations where you have to grow, not recklessly, but intentionally. Say yes to that difficult task. Start the uncomfortable conversation. Wake up an hour earlier to work on yourself. Every time you do something hard, especially when you don't want to, you gain power. Not over the world, but over yourself. And that's the foundation of true happiness, the knowledge that you can trust yourself in any situation. Musk doesn't thrive because things go smoothly. He thrives because he prepares for failure and still takes action. You can do the same. If life is hard right now, good. That means you're alive. That means there's room to rise. And if it hurts, that's just proof you haven't given up. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your teacher. It's the voice saying, there's more inside you, but you'll never find it if you stay safe. So today, flip the script. Don't ask, how can I escape this? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Ask, what strength is being built right now, even if I can't see it yet? Because here's the truth no one tells you. You don't grow by staying comfortable. You grow by staying committed when it's uncomfortable. Force happiness by building strength. Build strength by choosing the harder path on purpose. And slowly, the pain will turn to pride. The stress will become structure. The discomfort will become discipline. And you'll look back and realize you didn't just survive, you transformed. There's something powerful that happens when you decide to believe even when nothing around you says it's possible. Elon Musk is the living definition of belief in action. When he said he would build reusable rockets and colonize Mars, most people laughed. When he said Tesla would become the future of automobiles, they doubted him. And when he invested everything he had, people called it reckless. But Musk didn't care, because his belief was louder than their doubt. And that's what you need, belief that's so strong, it moves you forward when logic says you should give up. But here's the truth most people miss. Belief is not a feeling. It's a choice, a decision. You don't wait to feel confident. You decide to believe. You choose it daily, hourly, in the middle of fear and failure. Elon isn't special because he was always right. He's special because he kept believing, even when he was wrong. That's what makes belief powerful. It's not fragile. It's forged. Forged through failure. Forged through late nights. Forged through public criticism. Forged through the voice in your head that whispers, what if you're not enough? But instead of backing down, Musk kept building. He kept showing up. And eventually, his belief became results. His dream became real. You can do the same. Maybe your goal isn't rockets or electric cars. Maybe it's rebuilding your life, starting a business, fixing a broken part of yourself. Whatever it is, belief is the fuel you need when nothing else is working. But here's the hard part. Belief gets tested in silence, when no one sees you, when no one claps, when there's no evidence yet. That's where most people quit, not because they failed, but because they stopped believing. You can't afford that. Your future needs you to believe, not blindly, but boldly. And that belief needs to be tied to action. Elon didn't sit in a room visualizing rockets. He built them. He hired engineers. He took risks. He got his hands dirty. That's how you reinforce belief. You match it with movement. Every step you take, even small ones, builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence, and confidence sustains belief. So, if you're stuck right now, if life feels heavy, if your dreams feel distant, ask yourself, what would the version of me who truly believes do next? Would they wait? Would they scroll? Or would they act? You already know the answer. You've always known it. It's just buried under fear, under fatigue, under failure. But it's still there. And today, you can dig it out by deciding that belief is not something you earn after success, it's something you use to create it. So, don't wait for signs. Be the sign, be the spark. Be the storm that refuses to die down. Because when you believe not just in the outcome, but in your ability to grow, adapt, and persist, you become unstoppable. Musk didn't wait for the world to give him permission. He believed first, and then he built. You can do the same. Believe anyway, move anyway, build anyway. And watch your life catch up to the power you chose to live with. What if the thing you're most afraid of failure is actually your greatest advantage? What if every setback, every embarrassing mistake, every loss was preparing you, not punishing you? Elon Musk has failed more than most people will ever attempt. Exploded rockets, crashed prototypes, missed deadlines, lawsuits, and even bankruptcy threats. And yet, he stands taller than ever. Why? Because he doesn't fear failure. He studies it, he respects it, and above all, he uses it. You don't become strong by avoiding failure. You become strong by learning to rise with it. Most people treat failure like a stop sign. Musk treats it like a GPS reroute. He doesn't say, I failed, so I'll quit. He says, I failed, so now I know one more way that won't work, and that means I'm one step closer to the one that will. That mindset doesn't come naturally. It's built, it's practiced, and you can build it too. Right now, there might be something in your life you've convinced yourself is impossible because you failed on SEER a few times. Maybe a dream you gave up on. Maybe a version of yourself you stopped chasing. But that failure didn't define you. You did. And now, you can redefine it. Elon Musk once said, failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. That doesn't just apply to rockets, it applies to you. If you're not struggling, you're not stretching. If you're not falling down, you're not moving forward. So stop fearing the fall. Start building the skill of getting back up. Here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the path to it. It teaches you faster than anything else. It humbles you. It reveals your weaknesses. And if you're willing to look closely, it reveals your next move. But only if you're brave enough to stay in the fight. That's what Musk does differently. He doesn't just get knocked down and get back up. He studies the ground. He understands why he fell. Then, he adjusts and runs harder. You can do the same. Think about your biggest failure, the one that still makes you uncomfortable. Now, ask yourself, what did I learn from it? What did it reveal about who I was and who I need to become? What would I do differently now? That's the power of failure, eh? Sharpens your vision. It exposes your blind spots. And if you're strong enough to face it, it makes you fearless. Because after enough failures, you start to realize something. They didn't destroy you. They built you. And you're still standing. Maybe not perfect, maybe not polished, but stronger, wiser, more dangerous. So don't waste another moment letting fear hold you back. Don't let a past mistake become a prison. Learn from it, build from it, rise from it. Elon Musk didn't become a legend because he never failed. He became one because he refused to let failure have the final word. Neither should you. You've got more in you. And the only way to find out how much is to try again, fall again, and this time, get up even stronger. Because that's how you force happiness. By turning every fall into fuel. Imagine waking up every day with a storm inside your head, pressure from every direction, criticism from the world, responsibilities that never seem to stop. That's not fiction. That's Elon Musk's reality. And yet, he moves forward. Not because it's easy, not because he's fearless, but because he understands a truth that most people overlook. You don't need perfect conditions to live a powerful life. You just need a decision. The decision to keep going. The decision to grow. The decision to be deliberately happy. Elon Musk doesn't find happiness in comfort, finds it in contribution, in challenge, in doing something that matters, no matter the cost. You can do the same. Your happiness won't come from scrolling endlessly, from comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel, or from hoping the world gives you a break. It will come from within, from the daily choice to build something better, even in the dark. Musk has mastered this. Not because his life is easy, it's far from it, but because he's trained himself to keep moving, even when the noise is deafening and the stress is crushing. That's the real lesson here. You don't wait for happiness. You build I-tone hard, disciplined, focused day at a time. And it starts with mindset. Your thoughts are not passive. They are tools, weapons, foundations. When you choose to believe, act, and show up regardless of circumstances, your mind becomes your greatest ally, not your enemy. The happiest people in the world are not those with perfect lives. They're the ones who've learned to stay in control when life is not. They've learned to stick to routines when motivation fades, take action even when afraid, find gratitude when nothing's going right, stay grounded when the world is falling apart. That's not luck. That's trained resilience. And you can train it too. Start now. Create rituals that keep you focused. Surround yourself with energy that lifts you. Build small victories every day. Because happiness isn't found in one big achievement. It's created in the thousands of quiet, private decisions you make when no one's watching. That's how Elon Musk does it. And that's how you can do it too. You don't need to be extraordinary. You just need to be consistent. To wake up and say, no matter what happens today, I will not quit on myself. That's your power. And in a world full of chaos, the strongest person is the one who creates peace within, who creates direction in uncertainty, who chooses not to be a victim of their emotions, but a master of them. So, wherever you are right now, whatever you're facing, remember this. You were not built to break. You were built to evolve. You were built to create. You were built to endure. And even if the road ahead is hard, if no one claps, no one notices, no one supports you, keep going, because you notice, you know what you're becoming. And happiness? It's not the goal. It's the byproduct of becoming unshakable.